So I thought in this video I will talk about spiritual teacher and spiritual master. Is it the same or is it different? According to my way of seeing things, right? So if there is a difference, I would say that the difference is that a teacher, the spiritual teacher, he knows what can be good to you. He knows what practices you can be doing, for example. He could instruct you on those practices, right? Whereas a master is a higher degree, so to say, where a master not only knows these techniques and can teach and can basically be a teacher, but he's more than that. A master is the one who has transformed his being, and he is the teaching itself. He doesn't need to speak, he radiates that teaching. And therefore a true master can give you an experience. If you are ready, a true master can give you an experience because he has it. Those practices he was doing had transformed him, and he has this, and therefore he can give you that experience, that spiritual experience. As a gift, as grace. Whereas just a teacher, he still cannot. He can tell you what to do, he can give you these practices, he may look at you and he may see how you are, right? But the master can transform you with his very presence. It's a bit similar. I like this example of, so you have fire and you have this log which is burning, and let's compare this log which is burning with master. And now you put another piece of food, another log which is not burning, you put it close to the burning one, and the burning log, here the master, will make the other one, the other piece of wood or log that could be compared with a disciple, it makes that piece of wood start burning. It may take time, depending on the readiness of that piece of wood. Maybe it is a dry yeah, if it is a dry wood, it will pick up the fire quickly. That's the good scenario, so to say, you know. But if that other piece of wood is kind of wet and still, what's the word, not dry, still kind of greenish, you know, as with, you know, you find some tree which is still green, kind of, you try to make it burn, it will not burn. It needs to become dry. But the comparison is that the master can light another being on fire, on spiritual fire. And the comparison with fire is also a very beautiful one, because spiritual intensity or spiritual process can be very much likened to the fire. That is the fire that we have in us. That is the fire that one experiences when is doing tapas, austerities, let's say, spiritual practices, yogic practices. That is fire. It feels like fire, and it definitely feels like fire inside the body. Could be likened to kundalini, as far as my understanding of the yogic systems and Vedas, you know, go. In Tantra, which is a later part of Indian yoga, let's say. In Tantra it is called kundalini, and it is many times likened to a snake. You know the story. I'm sure many of you do. But the interesting thing is that before the tantric practices, in the earlier days, in, let's say, in the Vedas, in those scriptures, right, you wouldn't find written about kundalini, but the same kundalini concept was conveyed with the principle of fire, at least the way I see it, the fire, such as in Rig Veda, for example. Uh, so, yeah, so the fire is. I got into another subject, okay, from master to the fire, but at the same time, it is it's the same subject too. So, the fire, the master is able to make you start burning, to inspire you, to transform you. But you have to be ready for that, because even if this log is burning really hot, but the other piece of wood is very wet, let's say, it will take time for that new piece of wood, which is not burning, to take fire. It will take time. So this can definitely be likened to the relationship or the process that happens between the master and student, disciple, or any person, right? Yeah, I think I said what I wanted to say, to share my point of view on this teacher versus master. Of course, there are more teachers than masters. A master is a difficult thing to find.